KITZ celebrated its 70th anniversary as a world-leading all-round valve manufacturer. Reaching this milestone was no easy feat. Let's walk in the shoes of the company's pioneers who overcame every adversity faced throughout each era. The first era of boldness and swiftness. Our first president, Toshio Kitazawa. On January 26, 1951, Toshio Kitazawa established Kitazawa Manufacturing Works with only 11 members. This new company completed its Nagasaka plant and began manufacturing and selling bronze valves the following April. The industry at the time had no unified standards, and valves with many quality issues circulated in the market. In this business environment, Kitazawa built a full-scale mass production system with the latest equipment, committed to his mission as a manufacturer of mass producing and supplying valves at a reasonable price using unified standards and quality control. In 1952, Kitazawa Manufacturing Works began organizing a comprehensive distribution network to expand sales outlets nationwide. In 1954, Toshio registered Kitazawa as a trademark that symbolized the reliability of Kitazawa products. In 1956, the Nagasaka plant established a new integrated manufacturing line from casting to machining, assembly, and shipping. The valve manufacturer had grown to more than 100 employees. In 1959, Kitazawa founded Toyo Metals to start production of the brass bars essential to valve parts. In 1962, the company changed its name to Kitazawa Valve. The Nagasaka plant became the first in Japan to introduce the UK-based Wilkins brass hot forging press. The brass-forged valve, FH, manufactured using this press, has become one of KITZ's best-selling products. This ability to produce both bronze valves and brass valves greatly strengthened the competitiveness of Kitazawa Valve. However, in 1966, bronze valve growth stagnated due to a shortage and sharp price hike of raw materials. That is why between 1967 and 1974, to offer everything from ductile iron, stainless steel, and cast iron valves to butterfly and ball valves, the company transitioned into an all-around valve manufacturer by diversifying the materials and types of valves it manufactured and sold. In 1972, sales reached 12.5 billion yen. After 21 years in business, Kitazawa Valve had become Japan's top-selling valve manufacturer. In 1973, the company completed its cutting-edge production facility for casting, machining, painting, and assembling cast iron valves, the Ina plant. In 1977, Kitazawa Valve was listed on the second section of the Tokyo Stock Exchange. In 1978, the company registered KITZ as a new trademark using a new font. In 1980, innovations in the image of the petals of large chrysanthemum flowers gave birth to the chrysanthemum handle. 7 years after its listing on the second section in 1984, the company was listed as the first ever specialized valve manufacturer on the first section of the Tokyo Stock Exchange. After his appointment as chairman in 1987, Toshio Kitazawa received the Third Order of the Sacred Treasure for his achievements in the industry. In the ideals of his youth, Toshio not only cultivated Japan's top-selling valve manufacturer, but also boldly accelerated the industry. He was truly a person of boldness and swiftness. A second era of innovation. The second president, Yusuke Shimizu. The era of quantitative expansion in the Japanese economy was over with the end of high growth. As a new generation began, in 1986, the innovative Kitazawa production system, or KPS, launched, transforming large-scale prospective production into the high-mix, low-volume production still used today in KICS activities. The company had also begun new product development to respond to diversifying customer needs. In 1985, the company developed a general residential gas valve before starting sales of the T+ the following year to make pipe branching work more efficient. In 1988, the company developed the KITZ miniature valve and KITZ couple lock to penetrate the instrumentation field, and at the same time established the YKV Corporation to enter the automatic control valve business. By leveraging not only valves, but also fluid control technologies, in 1989, the company introduced advanced system products with higher added value to the market as well. In 1990, the company developed the OSX household water purifier using a hollow fiber membrane filter. Further diversification expanded into service and other business fields. KITZ had also been actively expanding sites overseas. In 1985, KITZ Corporation of Taiwan was launched to machine and assemble stainless steel small-size valves and fittings. In 1988, KITZ Thailand was established for the production and sale of bronze and brass valves. In Europe, the company acquired the Spanish ball valve manufacturer ISO Vitrificados S.A. In 1989, the Nagasaka and Ina plants were recognized for high quality and their management system to become the first in Japan to acquire the ISO 9001 certification. In 1991, the company announced the KITZ Statement of Corporate Mission. In 1992, the head office moved to Makuhari New City in Chiba. The company also changed its name to KITZ Corporation. Moreover, M&As in Japan work to penetrate new markets. In 1995, KITZ Corporation acquired shares of Shimizu Alloy Manufacturing, which boasted the top share in the market of valves used for the water supply and sewerage field in Japan in terms of production volume, and welcomed it as a group company. In 1999, the company also acquired Miyoshi Valve as a group company. While solidifying a business base in Japan via aggressive M&As, KITZ Corporation fell into the worst crisis the company had ever experienced since its founding. When the economic bubble burst during the fiscal year of 1998, the interim results showed a roughly 4.2 billion yen loss. President Shimizu had to act to overcome this catastrophe. In 1999, he rolled out the business restructuring policy, which focused on adopting an executive officer system to strengthen the business division system. In 2008, Shimizu, who had become chief advisor, was presented the medal with blue ribbon at the Autumn Imperial Conferment of Decoration. Shimizu spearheaded product development into new fields, launched new businesses, and expanded sites overseas with a bold challenge. He was truly a person of innovation. A third era of taking actions. The third president, Kimio Kobayashi. President Kobayashi responded to crisis with concentration in core competence. In 2002, he closed KITZ Corporation of California, which had been manufacturing and selling cast steel high-pressure valves, and sold KITZ Meadows Ski Resort. In 2004, he spun off the brass bar manufacturing business as KITZ Metalworks Corporation and the microfilter business as KITZ Microfilter Corporation. In 2001, the company acquired business related to semiconductors from the defunct Benkan Group that had gone bankrupt and launched KITZ SCT Corporation. This brought KITZ Corporation into the cutting-edge business of semiconductors, dramatically expanding its market. President Kobayashi truly had the power of foresight. KITZ Corporation took over Toyo Valve, its biggest competitor, in 2004, starting Toyo Valve on a new path as a member of the KITZ Group. This move positioned the KITZ Group as an unchallengeable force in the Japanese market. The company began reorganizing overseas production bases to increase international price competitiveness. In 2002, KITZ Corporation of Kunshan was established in Kunshan, Jiangsu, China, to manufacture stainless steel valves and fittings. In 2003, KITZ Corporation of Jiangsu, Kunshan was launched as a manufacturing base for cast carbon steel valves. This aimed to strengthen price competitiveness by transferring some of the production lines to China, where manufacturing costs were lower. Later in 2003, KITZ Corporation of Shanghai was also established as a local sales subsidiary. In 2007, KITZ Corporation of Lianyonggang was launched to manufacture carbon steel castings. These are only a few sales and production bases which were part of the significant progress in the Chinese market. To strengthen the foundation of the brass bar manufacturing business, KITZ Corporation took over Kyoto Brass in 2005. Together with KITZ Metalworks, this move made KITZ Corporation Japan's largest brass bar producer at one point. Thanks to President Kobayashi's concentration in core competence, KITZ Corporation consolidated sales exceeded 100 billion yen for the first time in fiscal 2005. To save the company from the worst crisis since its founding, Kimio Kobayashi decided to restructure the business through withdrawing from or spinning off of underperforming businesses and carrying out M&As, which resulted in establishing a solid business foundation in the domestic market and leading the company to achieve the consolidated sales of over 100 billion yen. He was truly a person of action. A fourth era of globalization. The fourth president, Yasuyuki Hotta. With aggressive M&As and expansion of overseas bases, we strive to develop broader business through further globalization. In 2009, KITZ Corporation acquired Perrin, a German metal-seated ball valve manufacturer. In 2013, KITZ Europe began operations as a regional headquarters for Europe. In the ASEAN region in 2011, KITZ Corporation established KITZ Corporation of Asia Pacific in Singapore as a regional headquarters. In 2013, the company acquired Mikuni Engineering, a Singapore distributor, and relaunched it as KITZ Valve and Actuation Singapore. KITZ Corporation also established local sales subsidiaries in Thailand in 2015, Malaysia in 2017, and Vietnam in 2018. Thereafter, the company accelerated the development of overseas bases by setting up KITZ Asia Pacific representative offices in the Philippines and Indonesia, and new sales bases in Hong Kong and South Korea. President Hota knew KITZ Corporation must penetrate new areas and expand its product lineup to foster growth in markets overseas. Following the acquisition of Perrin in 2009, the company acquired Indian valve manufacturer Micropneumatics in 2015. KITZ Corporation then acquired Metallurgica Golden Arts, a Brazilian manufacturer of industrial ball valves. By 2018, expansion of the KITZ Group grew steadily with the acquisition of Cephas Pipelines Corporation, a South Korean industrial butterfly valve manufacturer. In fiscal 2018, operating income and ordinary income reached record highs. To pass down a sustainable society to the next generation, KITZ Corporation also strives to solve social issues. Focusing on hydrogen as a crucial next-generation energy, the company successfully developed and began sales of an ultra-high pressure ball valve series for hydrogen stations in 2012. In 2018, the Nagasaka plant built hydrogen stations and verified its operation to accumulate technology. In 2020, this led to the launch of a packaged unit-type hydrogen station business. The KITZ Chino plant is advancing construction of the KITZ Group Innovation Center to put in place an environment inspiring creativity in development and design sections to foster future growth of the KITZ Group. The key to the various initiatives driven forward by the company's previous presidents was the cooperation of the employees of each era. Today, Makoto Kono leads KITZ as the 5th president. Under the new management, the KITZ Group will continue to be a flow control expert as one unit, aiming to become an enterprise which will exist for a century and beyond. You can count on us.